Hi, I'm Jordan. I'm the author and founder of Love Like Flannel. Thank you so much for taking the time to check out this video. This is the companion video for part 2 of my treatise that I recently released and is titled The Death of Racism. If you have not yet had the chance to read part 1 or watch the video with that, I would definitely encourage you to take the time to do so prior to watching this, as well as reading part 2. They kind of build off one another, so what I say here would make more sense if you've done that previously. But what I'm talking about in this video goes along with part 2, dignity and diversity. And this is something that I am very passionate about because I believe that showing value and love and a sense of cherishing people is something that is certainly within our power to give. And if you look at the idea of dignity, Webster's dictionary defines dignity as the quality or state of being worthy, honored, and esteemed. Those are things I think we all could admit we love to feel in our own life. We love to feel that we're worthy of somebody else's love and affection. We enjoy feeling a sense of being honored, not because of what we do, but just because of who we are, that somebody takes pride in the fact that we are in their life. And the idea of being esteemed, being lifted up and cherished, we all want that as individuals. So why would we not want to pass that on to other people? And when you talk about passing those things on to other people, and you talk about bringing about the death of racism, it's vitally important that those things are passed on to people of a different race and different background than yourself. It's important that these types of feelings are not reserved just for the people that look like us. And so what I'm talking about in bringing dignity through diversity is being able to look at somebody that is of a different race or cultural background or socioeconomic status and say, I recognize your color. I recognize the ways that you're different and I love it. I celebrate it. I need it in my life. That's the type of attitude that I think is really going to start to break down walls that racism has built, that prejudice has built. And it's going to open the door for healthy relationship dynamics to take place so that we can grow together. I think when you talk about seeing the death of something like racism, it has to happen through relationship. Relationship takes trust. Trust takes time. We have to be willing to invest in relationships so that people who are different than ourselves know that we do see them for who they are on a surface level, but we also want to go to a deeper level and understand and see who they are as a person, the things that make them tick, hear their stories, find out about their pasts, find out about the ways their cultures are different, see the great things about their backgrounds, and also see the things that are painful and be able to bear one another's burdens and really do and share life together. That's how you bring dignity to somebody. But you also can start on a surface level by treating people in ways that let them know from the beginning that you don't hold anything against them because of where they come from or what they look like, that you're not afraid to embrace the differences or admit the ways that you're different or listen to one another. If we really want to create a sense of unity in our communities, we have to be able to bring dignity into the lives of other people. And so if we want to see the death of racism, I believe that one of the places it starts is bringing dignity into the relationships that we have with those that are different racially. I brought my boys up in the first video. My oldest is 5, my youngest is 2. My oldest is black, my youngest is white. And so even though some of the deeper dynamics of prejudice and racism are still very difficult for them to comprehend and grasp, they already ask questions. They recognize the differences in people's skin color. They recognize the differences in languages that people use, the way people dress if they see something culturally different from us. They ask questions about it. And as a father, one of the things I always try to do is encourage them and let them see the joy that I celebrate those differences with. I talk to them about how it's a beautiful thing and it's a great thing that we don't all talk the same, that our skin color is not all the same, that our thought processes and how we go through life with beliefs and convictions and passions is not robotic and we're all the same. I let them know like how amazing I think it is when we hear somebody speak a different language and how awesome that is. And or if somebody's skin tone that they notice is different, I tell them how beautiful it is or how cool their hair looks or something like that. I point out some of the things that make them different and let them know how amazing I find those things, because that's really what's in my heart. The people that are different than me, I love the fact that they're different. And I feel like life is so much richer because of our differences. And if we're willing to put in the work of building relationships, that we can, on an individual level, through that relationship, enrich the lives of one another, but that we also can discover the differences and the strengths within those differences that we share, and together can help create a better sphere around us in our communities. And I think that that's really part of how we destroy racism and we create both a better present for us, but also a better future for the coming generations. And I want my boys to see, even from their age now, that the differences we recognize in people are not something to look at and find weird or odd. They're something to look at and from the very beginning find beautiful or intriguing. And I want them to be able to grow in a home that causes them to embrace the diversity in the human race and celebrate it. And so when I talk about bringing dignity into the lives of other people, I'm really talking about interacting with each other in a way that lets the person sitting across from me know that I value who they are because of who they are, not because of their title or what they could potentially give me if we cultivate a relationship, but that I value them for who they are right there in that moment, and that I celebrate the ways that they're different, and I feel like my life is truly better because they're in it. That's what I want people to see and experience from me as they encounter me. And I really believe that if we are to see the death of racism, it's going to take a commitment from all of us, regardless of our cultural background or racial demographics, committing to this idea of bringing dignity into the lives of those that are different than us. And so as you process this idea of dignity, I hope that you're able to cultivate relationships with people that are different than you and learn their stories and grow together and work together to create a better future. For whatever reason, we have all been given the opportunity to live this life at this point in human history together. And we have the power to pass on honor, esteem, love, acceptance, and dignity to those around us and work together to create a better future. And I hope that we are collectively able to do that. And I believe that as we're able to do that, we can see the death of racism take place. It will take work. This doesn't happen overnight. It takes trust, and trust takes time. And so it will take work, it will take time, but I believe it's possible. And so I hope that you're able to recognize those relationships you have and either cultivate them deeply or maybe even start some new ones and cultivate those and bring dignity into the lives of those that are different than yourself. I know that's what I fight for, that's what I work for. So I hope that you're able to do that as well. I hope that you're enjoying this release of the death of racism. Please feel free to share this stuff however you'd like. That's why it's out there. Thank you so much for checking out Love Like Flannel and reading the things that I write or listening to the things I post. It means the world to me that you're engaging it. But please feel free to share it however you'd like, and also stay tuned for part 3 of the treatise of the death of racism coming up soon. Thanks.